Hey everyone, this is Eric with Nutrition by Eric. I hope you're doing well. Today I'd like to talk with you about doing the work. Sometimes I've read various places, and you may have read or heard too, where they say you have to do the work, do the inner work. Sometimes you might see it in like dating scenes, the inner work, the inner game. Sometimes they can refer to it, and also maybe in self-help venues. We talk about inner work. You have to work on yourself. Maybe you want to control your temper, or be more calm, or be more caring. And you might know, you have to kind of know yourself. Are you these things? Are you the calm person you want to be? Are you more considerate? Do you interrupt people when they're talking? And if you're aware of it, you also may know it's kind of maybe hard to change. It may be part of your personality, and I've heard people say, well, that's just how I am, and they just kind of dismiss it as if it's an unchangeable thing. Well, it's not the case. I don't think it's unchangeable. It just may be difficult. Some people may not know how to change, but if you do any kind of personal growth work, or you're into some type of meditation, you might find that you can cultivate. That's a word I like that the Buddhists use a lot. To cultivate means to work on something, referring to yourself, a quality of yourself, or qualities, plural, of yourself. The good news, it is doable. So if you've ever read, if you want to pursue like self-improvement, like really self-improvement, not just talking about it and getting a good feeling for a couple of days, to make lasting change in yourself is by doing this inner work. And the inner work, from at least from my experience, is to create an intention of what you want. So I like to think of us, since we're all so familiar with computers now. When I grew up, they weren't that common. They weren't nearly as sophisticated. But the concept of a computer, where there's a programming part, you can program something, and you can run that program, and the program does its thing. So the same happens with yourself. Think of it also, I like analogies. It's nice to compare something that we already know. So computers, one, growing seeds, if you know about even a little bit about gardening or farming, when you grow, I like to think of it as a seed that grows. You have to put the seed, let's say, is for apple tree. It goes in the ground, and let's say you have to have the right conditions, the right soil, the right temperature, maybe the right part of the climate, or geography rather. Maybe it won't grow in a very hot climate, but from what I know about apples, they grow in Washington State, in the United States. So you have to have the right intention, that could be the seed, and then the right environment, and then that may translate over to activities. Maybe like meditation is one way, or you start every day with a journal, and you write out, what your intention is. I intend to be more caring, or more loving, or more compassionate. And depending how serious you want to take this, you could record yourself. Well, was I compassionate today? Was I caring? Oh, I lost my temper at 3 o'clock when I was in traffic and I was running late. And you can record it like an activity, just like if you were to take, a class or something. But rather than a class you don't like, you can treat it the same way, where you try to maybe push or gently work with yourself, because you can play the role of yourself, and you can also play another role as being the person that changes yourself. You probably know this. A lot of people refer to this sometimes as, you've got the part of you that's the worker, the part of you that just gets up and does its thing, and then the part of you that is more contemplative and says, well, rather than just going day to day, what do I want to accomplish? And maybe when do I want to accomplish it? This is really another level. And I think many people, successful people, do this. They're thinking about what do they want, what are they going to accomplish in this world, what in various categories, in their career, in their personal relationship, professional relationship, romantic relationships. And it's very interesting when you realize all of the that you're not destined to just your environment. You don't have to just use the crutch of saying, well, that's how it is. Oh, that's how I grew up. Oh, that's my environment, or my background. Come from this background, or your gender, or what have you. And you have a lot more ability to make your life deterministic. Now, I will say I've gotten a lot of listening to and reading Dr. Joe Dispenza. I don't maybe agree with 100% what he says, or maybe the method of his communication style doesn't always resonate with me, but he really has opened my eyes. And another name is Greg Braden. They really are people who have seemed to work on this human potential, the development of improving yourself. And they give actual methods, which is something I cherish. It's actually nice to have a toolbox rather than say, well, I want to be a better person. That's kind of vague. But if you state specifically, what is it? What are the things you want to do? Is it you want a better career? You want to work in a different career? That's usually very popular for people. Those are types of things people don't think they have much choice, but they do. In fact, you have choice of everything of your life. But back to the concept of the title, which is doing the work. So the work would be putting the time every day. You may have heard, well, I'll say it's kind of like we have in Owner's Manual. There is a concept of, there's a way to reprogram yourself. There's a way to customize yourself. And one of those ways is to use time. And time usually is a 3 weeks, for a month, 5 weeks. And that means, what I mean rather is to put in the time every day. Put in the time to say, I'm going to do this. And you literally program yourself, because everyday repetition will move the dial, so to speak. It will say you'll move you from here to, you'll move here for a little bit. Let's just pretend this is a dial of, frustration to just more joy. And you start, I'm really frustrated. Oh, I'm a little more joyful. But then you'll swing back. Why? Because you've been programmed. How about that? Maybe you've been inadvertently programmed. You may not have been thinking, well, I want to be a frustrated person. But just like weeds grow in the garden, parts of your personality will develop. And unless you're cognizant, conscientious of these things, they'll come over you and take you over, so to speak, just like weeds will take over a garden. So the good news is you can change all that, and you can know some tricks, some methods to put yourself in the type of life that you want. And then if you listen to Dr. Joe Dispenza and other people like him, they'll talk about things like the quantum field. Like, you not only can change, but you kind of have support out there. You can call it unseen forces, if you will. You get pretty deep into this world. We are edging on the esoteric realm, but science is proving it. There's when you just see a space, it's like, I'm looking over my wall. Between me and my wall, I don't see anything. I just think it's blank space. But recent science says, well, there's really a lot going on. You just don't have the ability. The eyes don't allow us to see. So even though we have 5 senses, maybe 6 senses with the 6th sense, there's a lot of things that go on. We just, don't have that ability in our native state. Some may, but sometimes you have to develop things. So back to tools, though. Let's go back to tools. And tools could be meditation, meditation. And during the meditation could be closing your eyes, sitting in a chair, on the floor, on your bed even, with a pillow to kind of prop yourself up so you're at an angle. And work on your breathing. Be aware as you're breathing in and breathing out. You can direct your attention. Okay, I want to think about my nose, my cheek, my chin, my chest, your shoulder, and so on. So you have a lot of tools. Experimentation is another one. Okay, I want to be a better person. Let me try this for a couple days. Let me try this for a week. Let me try this for a month. I think that's one thing I think we get from school is like, don't take chances, don't make mistakes. So usually we all have plenty to work on. There's a lot of programming, or rather reprogramming, we can do and put ourselves in a better direction. I'll also add is the concept of discomfort. Tony Robbins said, all humans seek pleasure and avoid pain. It's such a natural thing. We just want to sleep in some days, and we just want that comfort food, and we want a nice, comfortable temperature, whether it's air conditioning or heat. Excuse me. Just had breakfast. Things are moving. So the idea is if you're trying to improve yourself and you're doing earnest effort, you're probably going to hit some resistance for various reasons, maybe in another talk. So this is an interesting concept too. So not only do we have do the inner work, which is I'm going to work at this, and maybe I should add also, usually you can use the states when you're just waking up and going to sleep. When you're a little groggy, science shows us these are the states you can play hypnotherapist. You can, in quotes, hypnotize. You can add a suggestion during those states. So I'm going to be happy. I'm going to achieve this. I'm going to get this car. And you can start having the programming process occur in these groggy states. So these are kind of tricks. Not the best word, but that's one word I think of. These are some of the tools you can use to help kind of, just like a boat. You think a boat in an ocean has a rudder and it has sails and maybe an engine to push it. There's lots of things. The engine moves the mechanism which differently from a sail, but they'll all be used together to make the boat go in the direction that is desired. So I'll put this all together as know one, that it is possible to change yourself. Two, be clear on what it is you want. Three, give it time. Say, all right, Rome wasn't built in a day, as they say. It will take time. Number four, you'll probably hit obstacles. You'll feel part of you say, wow, a week ago I really wanted this, and now a week later I don't want it. And you might realize, wait, that doesn't make sense. How can I want it, not want it? You realize, I hit resistance, and there are various reasons. Maybe there are, it's going to sound out there, maybe there are spiritual components. There are maybe energetic forces that are preventing you. This is a little out there, I know, but let it. Take what you think is relevant, what resonates with you. But no, whatever you believe, you'll probably feel some resistance. Have you not? Have you ever tried to accomplish something and you feel like, I don't want to do it, I'm tired? You'll feel excuses stem up so easily. It's for whatever reason there's resistance, right? Hopefully you can relate to that. And if not, try to work on yourself so you can see if this happens or not. So with this in mind, as the old saying goes, steady as she goes, the old children's book, The Little Engine That Could, the Chinese saying, the journey of 1,000 steps starts with the first step. In Hebrew, one of my favorite words, devekut, which means stick-to-itness, could be translated loosely as persistence. So persist, and I think get familiar with the stumbling blocks. Maybe journal about it and say, well, it's so odd. I wanted this thing and I'm working on it and I'm feeling resistance. The proverbial blocks or boulders or rocks that are on your road. These are here as part of the process, I believe. And I don't remember hearing many people talking about that. So that's why I felt drawn to create a video about this. So again, doing the work creates or necessitates you doing things, and it's a skill you can apply to other. Once you do one thing, whether you want to become more flexible or get up earlier or have a better friendship with somebody, recognize, you may enjoy and benefit from recognizing that it's hard and it's not as straightforward. And maybe it is straightforward for you, but for many people, from my own experience, I definitely find it so, depends on the day, odd, fascinating, whatever, that like, wow, I want this, but I'm really struggling to make it happen because my mood changed or my interest changed, or I'm just can't get myself to make time for it. And just say, recognize, back to the Buddha's teaching, is to say, be an observer, be awareness. Awareness is part of this. So hopefully this gives you some insight if you're on a journey or you're not sure where to start, or to give you the reassurance that you can change, and you can find plenty of examples. Another thing is to find biographies of people who have succeeded. I love reading about people that they call rags to riches, people that came from all kinds of misfortunes or in a bad part of the country, and they've made it success, or they've made it and then they were dropped down from success by somebody wronged them, or Honda's a good. I remember thinking of Honda, the guy who started the Honda factory. He broke away as from Toyota, from being a supplier, and then he had a good shop, and then he was bombed. I think as just part of the war, they happened to drop bombs. I don't think they were intentional, but he got bombed. His shops, I think, more than once, and he just kept rebuilding. So, and with the concept of persistence, dedication, you want to write these down. You may want to tattoo them in your mind. You may want to leave them on post-it notes. And just know this is the equivalent of going to the gym. This is, if the gym is to strengthen your physical muscles, your choice to bring about or go toward a change in your life will bring about an inner muscle. And as you get challenged, you'll get stronger. So that's it. Leave a comment below if you'd like. Please share this with anyone you think might need it. Please like, subscribe, share, all the good options that are available on whatever platform you're watching this on. And that's it. So I wish you the best of luck. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact me here or on all of the social medias. Almost everything is Nutrition by Eric. That's Instagram, Facebook, and Telegram, and Discord, and you name it. And if I miss one, let me know. I'll add it there too. So wishing you much luck and much success. And until next time, take care.